Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. Is everyone still there? Hello. I'm glad to be live tonight to represent a part of the Haitian community that you may not see as a popular view, that you may not hear as a popular voice, but it is still the Haitian voice. It may not be a popular voice, but it still is the Haitian logic. It is still the logic of my ancestors. So that's why I'm speaking out tonight. I'm speaking out tonight because I have to represent the logic of my ancestors. A lot of people are dropping the ball. That's why I have to speak, because I have to speak the logic of my ancestors. If I don't speak the logic of my ancestors, then where would I be right now? If I don't keep it up, if I don't adhere to it, where would I be right now? So I have to. I have to speak rationally. I cannot be one of those Haitians where I'm emotional and I'm asking for Haitians to take the streets and I'm asking for Haitians to be exposed where they may be hurt. I can't be that person. I can't. I can't be that person. I can't be that person that makes that mistake. So when you do that, you put a burden on the people. You put a burden on the mass. It's not like you put a burden on the elite. You put a burden on the mass to show out. So when leaders are asking the mass to show out and the mass actually show out, it's the burden is on the mass to act a fool now. So the mass already now have shown out, and now the mass is gonna act a fool. The mass is gonna act a fool. The mass is going to act a fool, and then the people, because it's a theater, they're going to use that to their advantage. They're going to use that to make you accountable. Okay? So this is not the place where you don't become accountable for what you do. You will become accountable for what you do. You will. This is not the place where you don't become accountable for what you do and then everybody give you a pat on the back. That's not it. Because at the end of the day, the leaders will not be the people. The leaders will pay, of course, but the mass will pay the biggest price, because you cannot ask me. I will not ask anybody to take the streets right now, to march, to protest, or to do anything like that. I would not do it. I would not ask anyone to do it, because it would be asking people to put themselves in danger. And it would be like knowing these people are going to put themselves in danger, and for me to not warn them, and for me to expect them to be okay. That's what it would be like. Okay? I'm going to open another platform. Since I'm doing this video chat here, I might as well open another platform and merge the platform, since I have that fund free now. Okay? So that is bogus. It's foolish. It's foolish. It's foolish for leaders to ask any Haitians to take the streets. It's foolish for leaders to ask any Haitians to participate in anything that will engender their, that will engender their progress, your livelihood. Okay, it's foolish. It's foolish. It's foolish. So I'm taking the YouTube streets tonight. I'm going to be here for at least 2 hours. I'm going to be here for at least 2 hours, because I'm going to be here to speak to the Haitian community. I'm speaking to the Haitian. I'm setting up the other live. That's why I paused a little bit. I'm speaking to the Haitian community. I'm speaking to the African American community. I'm speaking to other communities. because we can see that the work that was done on the African American community is being done on the Haitians now. That's sad. That's sad. Because none of them can recognize the similarities. They cannot recognize, oh, what's happening now, it happened before. Let me protect myself. Let me not make it where I'm a victim now. Let me not do that. You know what I mean? Let me not do that. Instead, it's like everybody's riding the same train. Everybody's speaking the same talk. Everybody's putting in the same BS. And they think it's supposed to be good. They think it's supposed to be great. Just because they all think the same thing, they think, okay, that's great. We all think the same thing. We're doing great. Since we all think the same, we must be doing great. Since we all agree, we must be doing great. Just because we all agree, that means we are doing great. That's not what it means. Just because everybody agrees doesn't mean that you're doing great. Just because everybody agrees you're doing great. And how do you measure whether or not you're doing great? Because it cannot be because everybody agrees. How do you measure whether or not you're doing great? Because doing great cannot just be based on the fact that we all agree. Because we can all agree and it's ignorance. We agree in ignorance. Let me clean my camera. It could be that we all agree in ignorance. Do you understand? We can all agree in ignorance. God, the camera was fuzzy. So it could be that we all agree in ignorance. But what if we agreed on the truth? What if we all agreed on the truth? Then where would we be? What is our position then? What does that mean to us then? Today I'm speaking to Haitians, Trump, and others, African Americans. I'm speaking on my YouTube platform as well. People, someone has to speak. Someone has to speak what's going on. Someone has to talk to the people. Someone has to guide the people in the laws of logic. People are expecting me to be mad because I'm Haitian and Trump said some derogatory remarks about Haiti. People are expecting me to react. And people are expecting me to invest energy to react in what Trump said. To be mad. People are expecting it to be that way. And I'm like, no. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. I don't have to get mad. Please comment if you think this is something where the Haitian people should get mad. Should the Haitian people get mad the way they are getting mad? Because when you look at the Haitian community right now, the Haitians are pissed. The Haitians are getting mad. Is it necessary to get so pissed at what Trump said? Please share your thoughts. Is it so necessary to get so mad? Thank you for those people who tune in. Thank you. Today is my first day on this platform because I'm on 2 platforms right now. I'm also on YouTube, but I'm also on this other platform. And today is my first day broadcasting on this platform. I do thank the people who give me the loves. Somebody just gave me a few people just gave me 46 love just now, 51, it just 55, 57. So I'm glad to have discovered this other platform. A friend of mine that I met yesterday. And it's very funny because I just met her yesterday and I called her a friend. That's very funny. It must be that. So she introduced me to this platform and it's working. So I'm on this platform as I'm talking on the YouTube platform. So there are things I will say that will relate to this platform only and not YouTube. But since I'm on both, I just wanted to clarify what I'm doing. Thank you for tuning in to my broadcast. I invite you to follow my broadcast. I invite you to follow my podcast, which is blackmentonic.com. Tonight, I'm talking to the Haitian community because we can see that the Haitian community is pissed. The Haitian community is mad. But why is the Haitian community so pissed? Why is the Haitian community getting so mad about what Trump said? Does it have any truth at all, what Trump said? Please, people, talk to me. Share with me your opinions. What Trump said about the Haitian community, does it have any truths at all? And if it has any truths, then what then do we do? What to do then? What then do we do? Do you know what I mean? Because my ancestors believe in the truth. We don't believe in lies. And you know what? Someone comes to you and they tell you the truth in a harsh way. That is still, the truth came to you. If you did not listen, it wasn't because somebody did not give you truth. Somebody came and gave you truth. It wasn't a harsh way, but they gave you truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I know right now there's 49 people watching. There are 49 people watching. 49 people. Can you, somebody please answer me if you're listening, and there are 50 now. Can you do it? Can you answer me? Okay. Is it okay for somebody to tell you the truth or for somebody to leave you in a lie? Which one would you prefer? Please tell me, answer me. Which one would you prefer? For somebody to let you live in a lie or for somebody to tell you the truth? Please share with me which one you would prefer. And if that person told you the truth in the harshest ways and you did not receive the truth, was it still your job to receive that truth? Even if the person said it in the worst ways. Did anyone answer? Thank you for giving me the love. Thank you for the people who tune in. Thank you to the people who have tuned in and the people who give me love. Thank you. I have 1 diamond. I would like more. Okay? So thank you to the people who are tuned in. As we speak, the Haitian people are reacting. The Haitian community is reacting. And the Haitian community is reacting to what Donald Trump said. And it's not just the Haitian community who is reacting. The president of Venezuela is reacting. The former president of Mexico is reacting. A lot of people are reacting to something, and I'm asking, does it merit our attention? Does it merit our reaction? It's so deep. Such deep reactions that we invest in this. Does it merit it at all? Does it merit it? Because we see that there is an agenda that they apply to the African American people. There is an agenda that they apply to distract and disturb and shock and awe. And it's very funny because last week I did a series of 3 podcasts. And in the podcast that I did last week, I talked about beta leadership. I talk about the undercover male whore leaders. And guess what I said? I said that there are words that these leaders use to shock us. Those words are like trigger words that all of the leaders use. All the leaders use the same words. And you know what those words are? White supremacy. The minute they want to scare us, it's like saying Candyman. It's like saying Boogeyman. It's like, whoop, scare you off. And that's what those leaders do. They want to scare the population. They want to scare the people. Boogeyman, white supremacy. And the minute they say that we're supposed to drop our pennies, we're supposed to drop our brain, we're supposed to drop our logic, and we're supposed to do what they say we should do. Is that fair? Is that fair for the people to have such leaders? Because that same formula that was applied for the African Americans, now it is being applied for the Haitians. The formula where they tell you, white supremacy, boo, and you're scared. And now you want to take the streets and you want to go march. Is that fair? Is that a fair way to react? Is that how people should act? Are your leaders supposed to encourage you to act that way? Are your leaders supposed to participate in that? Is that it? Is this how you do it in these rough streets? That's not fair to the people. It's not fair to the rest of the people who still have logic. And it's not fair to the Haitian ancestors. Because the Haitian ancestors, everything they did, they followed the laws of logic. It wasn't because they wanted to do it. It was because it was what logic required to be done, and they were brave enough to do it. So we beg the questions, what is the motive of the Haitian ancestors? The Haitian ancestors have a motive. They have motivation. So Donald Trump say Haiti is a shithole. Is Haiti a shithole? This is what Donald Trump says. Is he white? Does it have some truth to what he says? Huh? Donald Trump says Haiti is a shithole. Does what he says bear some truth? I want to talk to the people because what's happening right now is a global cinema. It's a global theater, and the main actor, the principal role is Donald. And we've always had the Donalds. We've had the Donald Ducks. Yeah, we've always had Donald. There's another Donald. Isn't there a serial killer with the Donald too? We've always had Donalds. We've always had them. Donald is a popular character. So with this theater, we see that the Haitian community now is reacting. The Haitian community is reacting to what was said. Does it merit a reaction? Does it merit a reaction? Does it? Does it merit a reaction? Thank you to the person who just gave me 4 diamonds. Thank you so much. Let me see who it was so I can thank them. Thank you, Black Life. Thank you, Black Life. Because I just joined this broadcast, so if you tell me what to do, I'll do it next, because I'm not sure. Should I tap on that? Let me tap on it. Okay. All right, I did. Thank you. So we are talking about Haiti is a shithole, and a majority of these African countries are shitholes. That's what Donald Trump said. Is he right or is he wrong? Right now I'm in Georgia. Okay, I'm in the USA. I'm broadcasting from USA. Thank you for the people who are joined. It's about 64 people now, and I have about 173 hearts. I'm feeling the love. Should Haitians be mad right now? Donald Trump says Haiti is a shithole and these African countries, they're shitholes. Is he wrong? Should Haitians be reacting the way they are? And let me tell you something. Tonight, I decided to broadcast. You know why I decided to broadcast? Because if you're seeking for the reaction of the Haitian people, because the majority, what the press is showing you is that the Haitian people are angry right now. Is that the Haitian people are angry, and I want to be the one Haitian that you can see is not angry about that comment. You know why I'm not angry about that comment? Because it's a distraction. This is the same job they've been doing on the African-American population for at least 2 centuries. Distract the African-American population so that the African-American population doesn't see what's going on. So every time they want to distract you from the reality of your livinghood, they shock and awe you. They shock you with some behaviors. And we see that they've been shocking the African-American people to get into a fight with the police, and the African-American people haven't done it. It's like a civil war they want. And because the African American people did not react the way they wanted them to react, now they want to shock the Haitian people so that the Haitian people can react and go to the streets and confront the law. We don't want to do that. The Haitian ancestors would not agree. Because let me tell you, the minute you take the streets, they will spray you. You will get hurt. You will not come back the same. It will be about a year and you'll be like, you'll be a warden of the state. This is not a joke. These are real women's sons that we are asking to take the streets. These are women's real children we are asking to take the streets. So you have to be careful when you do that. You have to be careful because the people who manufacture the theater, they each know what they're about to do. When you hear the leaders who are doing the wrong thing, they always say the same words. That's how come you know this is not something that you should devote your emotions and your energy to it. White supremacy, people of color, racism, Trump is a racist, Haiti is a shithole. Is it true or not? Is it 100% true? Is it 50% true? Is it 70% true? What is the answer to that? So we should be focusing on just the answer. Before you get mad, before you go and react and give away your positive energy, focus on making a union, unite, and fix your shithole. Fix your country. Fix your country. So that way, a nigga like Trump don't have to say it again, because that's what he is. He's just a nigga. Trump is just a nigga. He's just an idiot. So if it were the Haitian ancestors, this is what the real Haitian ancestors would do. The Haitian ancestors would laugh at Trump. And they would say, let's unite and let's fix the shitholes, because we are lucky so far, because not the entire country is a shithole. So let's unite and let's fix that shithole. And they would fix the shithole. And once they fix the shithole, then they would turn around and they would deal with Trump. They would even ban him from coming into the country, or anybody in his bloodline from coming into the country. That's what the Haitian ancestors would do. Believe me, I know. I'm of them. That's what they would do. They would not be participating in the cinema, because that's what it is. It's a cinema. It's a cinema. It's like a play. It's a play. And it's the same play that they've been inviting the African-American people to participating in. And we see the African-American people, they have lost their focus. Their leaders have leading them into the wrong decision, to the wrong path. Their leaders are taking them to the enemy. So their leaders unite and gather them into different institutions, different groups. And the African-American leaders, you know what we do? We take the people to the wrong space. We take the people to the distraction. We entertain the people, but we do not help the people to make logical decisions. So we are coming to a time where the struggles are intertwining, because the same formula that was applied to distract the African Americans is the same formula that is being applied to distract the Haitians. And it's working, because the Haitian leaders are acting just like the African American leaders acted to participate and to enthrall the people into the madness. So the African Americans should be looking at the Haitians right now, and they should be like, damn, that's the same thing that was done to us. Let's wake up. Let's snap out of it. And the Haitian people should be looking at the African American people, and they should be saying, damn, they went through the same shit. Let's not fall for it. Because they went through the same shit, let's not fall for it. Because they did go through the same shit. So let's learn from what they've been through, because they had to deal with the same weapon that was applied on them. So let's not go to the same route where we are reacting and we are dispersing all that energy for free. And all that energy is going in the air. And you know what's going to happen to all that energy? The elite, the satanics, the satanists, the demonics, they're going to grab that energy and they're going to use it for witchcraft. And that's why tonight I know my ancestors are up there. And my ancestors are grabbing all that energy. And my ancestors are going to bring that energy to me. Because I deserve it. I work for the people. I tell the truth. I deserve to be anointed in the grace of my ancestors and the protection of my ancestors. And that's exactly what my ancestors will do. They will use that energy to bless me. So that's why I'm taking the airways tonight, so that I can snatch that energy. I don't want it to go to the people who are working against my nation. Even if I'm one voice, I'm supposed to stand up and counter that energy. That's what my ancestors would want me to do. Not to go march and expose myself so that these people can spray me. No way. These people will spray you. You ever get sprayed by a skunk, or you ever walk by where a skunk had sprayed? This is not a joke. I want to thank the 77 people who are watching on this other platform that I'm on right now. Thank you for those of you who are watching my broadcast. Today is my first day broadcasting on this platform, actually, and I'm happy about the reception. Earlier, I had about 400 and something people watching. It was amazing because, it was just introduced to me and somebody shared it. So it was amazing for me. I didn't know it existed, and it actually works. You know what I mean? Normally, I'm sleeping. That's just one thing I need to tell all of you. Normally, around this time, I'm sleeping. So that's why I'm like this too, because the sleep is trying to get at me. I know, because my body has a clock. Normally, I'm sleeping and I would be waking up at 4. That means I had been sleeping. I don't know what time it is right now, but normally I'm sleeping for at least 2 hours by now. Oh yeah, my God, it's past 10. My God, it's 11:30. No, oh no, I'm sleeping for at least 4 hours right now. 3-4 hours, yeah. Oh yeah, like normally I'm sleeping, so my body, that's why I have this little coffee. My body is just like reacting to the normal pace of what I usually do, to the normal cycle of my body's ritual, and that just also means that I've been up since 4. So this is a sacrifice for me. But I also want to be up to show that not all Haitians are acting crazy right now. There's at least one Haitian who is keeping logic and who is speaking. I'm speaking to not just Haitians, Trumps, and also African Americans. Because the African American community, they know about what's happening right now. That's how they are treated all the time. All the time, the media wants a reaction from the African Americans. They will shoot one of their sons. And then the African Americans will give all the reactions like, oh, and then they grab all that energy to create witchcraft. That's what they create witchcraft with. Those are witchcrafters. That's what they do. They do witchcraft. So they're not even real magicians with real skills. They're just witchcraft. They're experimenting too. So anything goes with these people. Anything can happen with these people. So when you give away so much energy to the wrong stuff, it's not fair to me. It's not fair to others like me, because we are actually working in harmony with the laws of logic, because the laws of logic do not vary. They do not vary because I'm Chinese and you're African. No, that's not how it works. The laws of logic do not vary because I'm Haitian and you're African American. No, it is still the laws of logic. Whether you cross cultures or you cross countries, you still have to apply the laws of logic to your life. You have to. If you don't apply the laws of logic, then you begin to adapt things that are anti-life flow, because life has a flow, life has a rhythm, and who determines that flow? Who determines that rhythm? Mother Nature, duh. It's Mother Nature. It's Mother Nature who determines that flow. It's Mother Nature who determines that rhythm. Thank you for watching the broadcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you for giving me love. I have over 300 love right now. Thank you. And I have stars. I have 15 stars. Thank you. Please comment. Tell me what you think about what Trump said. Trump said Haiti is a shithole. Is it true? Please share your commentaries. 85 people are watching. Please tell me what you think. I really want to know. Follow me, subscribe, because I really want to know. Don't be a stranger. Because I believe this is an interactive platform where we interact with each other. It's not just me up here talking. You have to make a gesture too. You have to push a button, interact with me. Do something, why don't ya? Do something, why don't ya? Do something, won't you? Tig Evans says, yes, it's true, but Europeans put us in this position worldwide. What position, Tig Evans, that they put us in? Because you have a choice in life. Somebody could put me in a hole. I can either die in a hole or I can get out of it. That still is a choice. That's the laws of logic. The laws of logic don't leave you choiceless. Are you brave enough to make the choice? The laws of logic lead you to that as a next question. The laws of logic do not play around. It's not kids' game where we Photoshop in this. We are living in living color. You can be what you want to be in living color. If you remember that, give me some love. Thank you. You can be what you want to be in living color. In living color. I used to like that show. I used to like Homie the Clown. But my ancestors have a proverb that says, "C'est ne rien d'un y habiller les moines." So it is while we are all laughing that they will dress you in a hideous outfit and you will put up with it. You will accept it. Do you understand the proverb of my ancestors? Because I know you are tuned in and you are still tuned in because you find something entertaining or something attracting about what I got to say to you. So please interact. Do you understand what my ancestors say? It is while we were all laughing. While we were all laughing, that's when they dressed the monk in that hideous outfit, and he kept it. We were all laughing, he was distracted, and they put that outfit. Do you see the monk's outfit? So while you are laughing, and this is what it means while we are all laughing, anything can go. And you can put up with it. You are likely to put up with it because you're laughing. When you're laughing like that, you're distracted. That's what it means. Anything can go while we are laughing. So while you're in the process of laughter is the moment that you also have to be careful. But we see the African American community, everything is funny. So because everything became funny, there became no barriers, no limits. No limit soldier, I thought I told ya. No limit soldier, I thought I told ya. But everyone has a limit. Because for me to cross from this dimension to go to the next dimension, I would still have to have permission from somebody to extend my limit, to open that dimension for me, to give me access. So we all have limit. No limit soldiers, I thought I told ya. I used to like that song. Tonight we are talking about shithole comment from Trump. Earlier, I had an African woman come on my live feed to tell me that Trump attacked Africa too. And I have to tell her, what did Trump say that attacked Africa? Is it not true that a lot of these parts in the countries of Africa, they are shitholes? Is it? Because somebody has to answer that question. Is Haiti a shithole? So the question that we have to ask, is it 100% shithole? Is it 50% shithole? Is it 60%? We need to know these answers because the laws of logic require them to be answered. It's not about what you want or what I want. Shoo, I want a lot, but I curb my wants for my needs. So I curb my wants to accept the truth. I don't let my wants govern logic. That's not what I'm here to do. It's not about that. So we are seeing a situation where Trump says Haiti's a shithole. In essence, these African countries, they shitholes. And this woman came to argue with me that Trump was attacking Africa. This, that, and it turned into this huge wall, virtual wall. I had to read her chapters. I had to open her book and read chapters from it. I had to tell this woman about herself, things she's been hiding from African Americans, because it is African Americans who tolerate those West Africans. My people, we don't tolerate those West Africans. Trust me, and we are descendants of the original people of the world. We don't tolerate them because we know who they are. They know who we are, and they're hiding secrets because they don't even want to tell the African Americans of their origins. Wouldn't you want to tell them of their origins? Why would you want to lie to them? T. Gavin says, Queen, we got to admit we lost the wars. I was taught we did fight for 100 years and more. We have been fighting way before the Atlantic, whatever happened. This is not new. This is nothing new. As far as these Africans that were bought in 1502, those were my ancestors. They weren't bought here because they were trade slaves. They were brought here because their government got taken down, their wealth were taken, they were being replaced. And to make it seem, because the plan of these people was to confuse the future, the wars are still on, and global African tribalism for self-government says, shaking my head, the wars are still on. Yes, the wars are still on, but it's the faces and the manifestations of those laws to confuse regular people with regular logic, basic logic. I don't need to be talking double talk or talking shit, talking gibberish to connect with the people. The people can tell if I'm talking logic or if I'm talking shit. This is not a joke. When you represent the truth, you transfer across cultures, you transcross barriers, you transcross frontiers, you transcross dimensions, because you're standing with righteous truth. And you know what is my compass? Love is my compass. Love is the GPS for me. Logic is the method. You know what I mean? Like, the sleep is going away now. I'm not gonna yawn and make everybody do it. I won't. I won't do it. That's contagious as hell. If I were to do it right now, I bet you at least 3 of you would do it. Well, it's not a real one. Maybe you won't do it. Okay, if I get another one, I'll do it and you'll see what happens. Trump says Haiti's a shithole. The Haitian community goes berserk. The Haitian community starts reacting. The Haitian community goes berserk. Trump says Haiti's a shithole. These African countries, they're shitholes. Let me tell you what the behavior of most of those people, most of the young people in these African countries, do you know what they do? They bleach their skins. A lot of people in the United States bleach their skins. And a lot of them are these Africans, these West Africans. King War said, sac passe from the African American. Hi, King War. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. Like the broadcast, please. Share it. Invite others. Invite your wife. Invite your mistress. Invite your friends. He says his name is King War. If you see King War, he has at least 2 wives. So invite both of your wives and your mistress to watch. Because I'm speaking for the Haitians, because we see that the popular leaders, they are leading the Haitian people into bullshit. They are asking the Haitian people to take the streets. If you take the streets, you'll get sprayed. You lose a lot. Mothers will lose sons. You won't get sick immediately, but you will get sick. You will deviate from the normal physiological functions. That will happen. So you lose that. That's a lot to lose. When you lose your health, you lose everything. Health is your biggest resource. And I'm about to say something right now. If you agree, please give me a lot of love for what I'm about to say. Please listen to what I'm about to say, okay? Please listen. Our ancestors, they say health is the biggest wealth. If you agree, please give me some love. Our ancestors, and you can follow me. If you agree, my ancestors, my Haitian ancestors, they say health is the biggest wealth. If you agree, please give me some love. Health is the biggest wealth. I'm about to break it down even better for you. Tigavin say agree. Kingwa says facts. Kingwa, I'm about to break something down for you. Please listen, okay? Because a lot of people don't think the way I think, because I think just the way my Haitian ancestors thought. I think with logic. I don't think, and when it comes to leading my people as a Haitian leader, as an American leader, I do not take you to get martyred. So listen, please, to what I'm about to say. A lot of these fraudulent, thought-pot whores, a lot of these fraudulent, thought-pot whores, they want to intimidate real people like me. So because they all agree, they think they can back me down. Because what these slaves say, the slaves say, be humble, sit down. And I say, shut up. Because that's what the slaves say. They say, be humble, sit down. I say, shut up. Because the word of the day is not be humble, sit down. The word of the day is to be wise. So a lot of these slaves, because they have a lot of cliches that don't even make sense, what they will say is they will say, I'm blessed. And the same person that says I'm blessed is walking on a cane. You're walking with a cane. A lot of you with diabetes, you lost your feet, and you're walking around saying I'm blessed. How are you blessed when you don't even have health? Answer me. I'm going to turn around. Answer me. Please. Answer me. Somebody, please talk. How can you be blessed if you don't have health? And we have all these people on social media. Oh, I'm blessed. And when you look at the real person, your face is all botched up. You don't have a beautiful brown tone like me. You don't shine like me. Your teeth don't shine like me. You don't got these pearls up in your mouthpiece. You don't got those full lips. And these fraudulent thought-pot thieves, whores, they say I'm blessed. But you lost your leg, you're walking with a cane, you're not healthy. So you are misleading the rest of us so we can be intimidated by your blessing because you're driving a fancy car. That's the blessing. Because you're living in this huge big house. They ain't got those pretty slant eyes like you. That's what the king says. He says they ain't got those pretty slant eyes like I do. Tigavin said, Dr. Sebi cured HIV with natural herbs. We lost his knowledge. May he rest wherever, because I don't know him enough to say, may he rest in peace. So I won't even deter him from his road. I will stay in my lane. All right? So a lot of these people, they want to intimidate people like me because I don't have a Mercedes-Benz. I don't have a BMW. I don't. The money that I've had in my life, I use that money to do community work. I use that money to help my family who I thought needed help. I use that money to uplift other people who needed upliftment. Okay, I did. I intentionally planned it that way because when I wanted to help the community and I saw the process of what it would take to get grants, I said, fuck that shit. Just the process of writing, because there was a lot of years back where I did that. I was involved in the, nonprofit writing grants, a lot of that. And I saw the energy it takes. By the time you finish writing the grant, you might as well have earned that money and put it in yourself. Like, that's fucking martyrdom. The process of begging it free, honey. So I said, you know what? Let me not beg these people, because the work as I'm about to do it is to elevate my people, so they might never give me a grant, and I might spend 10 years asking for grants and asking for validation from people who won't give a shit about me. They don't. They actually don't give a shit about me. So I decided to not beg for the grants and to just focus on the work and to do the work and to put my heart into the work. And it's because I put my heart into the work that God, the ancestors, petitioned God to bless me with health. So when I say I'm blessed, you can see it. But some of you say you're blessed and you're walking around with two amputated legs. No one is making a mockery of your sort. King Wa says, Lahini, what do you see from Black Americans? Let me see what he says. He says, Lahini, what do you see from Black Americans and Haitians in defeating systems of supremacy in the near future? King Wa, what I'm about to say, y'all better give me love, y'all better give me diamonds. Because I'm about to free you from your chains in just a matter like that. And that's what the original people of the world do. You sit down, you have a conversation with the original people of the world, and you will find light, you will find truth. When they met us, they said, let there be light. Finally, they were meeting lightness. The young man, King War, he asked me, he said, what can we do to defeat, he says, what do you see from Black Americans and Haitians in defeating systems of supremacy in the near future? I don't acknowledge systems of supremacy to the best I can. Because I live in a territory where it is something that humans focus on, then a lot of times I have no choice but to participate in some way. So I try to minimize the way I participate in those words, white supremacy institutions. And he asked about the word is defeating. Your job is not to defeat white supremacy and racist institutions. That is not your job. If you agree with me, please show me that you do and support what I'm doing here. Because I did not come here to twerk, honey. I did not come here to twerk tonight. I came here to flex my brain muscles because that's the gift that God gave me. The gift of rhetoric, the gift to inspire the people to the truth. Everyone has those gifts. And the women who twerk, that's their gifts. I like it too because they have a function. I have my function. How can I deny their functions when it takes so much of a gift for them to do what they do? Because if it wasn't a gift, why can't I do it as well as they do it? So we all have our gifts. The women who twerk, the women who twerk, they have their gifts. And me who speak like this here, I have my gift. So it is the way that we utilize that gift to the advancement of life as we know it that makes sense or not. So I'm telling you, and I'm asking you, Kingwa, why must you defeat white supremacy or racism? And I'm telling you, you don't have to, but I'm asking you now personally, what makes you think that you have to? Please answer me. What makes you think that you have to defeat racism? I'm asking you too. I have 103 people watching in the other platform. I'm asking you, what makes you think that you have to defeat racism? What makes you think that you have to defeat white supremacy? Please answer me, please. I want to know. I really want to know what the people think because I have already heard what other people, he says because it's effective. King Ra said because it's effective, it is effective. Listen, we are currently losing. That's what they want to do. They want to get you into thinking that you have to defeat this and you have to. Why? Did you create it? You see how simple that is when you use the logic of my ancestors? Do you appreciate what I'm doing for you tonight? Because other African American leaders will not tell you, but I'm telling you as an African American leader what I'm telling you. Other African American leaders, you know what they say? Boo. They scare you with those words, white supremacy. When they say white supremacy, you're supposed to jump into scaredness. You're supposed to get scared. And I'm telling you, why? Why must you defeat it? Why must you fight it? King Wa says, is there something we have forgotten and we have to relearn it? Yes, I'm reteaching it to you now. I'm reteaching it to you now. I hope you're following. Yes, there is something you've forgotten because the African American people got programmed. Now you have to reprogram listening to the logic and applying the logic of the ancestors. Because it's a favor for me. It is favor for me to have even been privileged to grow up listening to the logic of the original people of the world and hearing their history rather than hearing the history of another people from another region of the world. So what is it that you have to defeat in life? Let's take the word defeat. If you create something, then you can not create it. You can uncreate it. But if you did not create something, can you defeat it? Why don't the people who created white supremacy, why don't they focus on defeating it? Why is it that it's you who is always making racism your business? Why is it your business? What do you know about it? Did you create it? Did you create? Please, I have right now 105 people watching. Tell me, did you create racism? So if you did not create it, why should you even bother to defeat it? Something you did not create, something you don't know anything about. Can somebody please answer me and make communication logic with me? Thank you, Kingwa, for participating. Okay? So Kingwa, can you answer my question now that I've put in some logic? Do you still think the same? Please, let's talk. Man and woman. Because this is how the nations grow. When man and woman talk, oh, eh? So I'm asking the African American people, did you create racism? Did you create white supremacy? Why is it that all these African American institutions are placed to fight racism? Why is it that all these African American institutions are placed to fight white supremacy? Why is it that all these African American leaders, they are scaring the people when they say white supremacy, all of that? Why? I agree with you, though we need a system building mechanism, right? That's what Kingwa say. Global African Tribalism for Self-Government says racism literally translates to a system of race, lineage. Black people had that in Africa. That's not what racism translates to. The way that these European niggas, they do racism, that's not what it is. The way that we have with my ancestors is your bloodline. Your bloodline have nothing to do with the race that you look like. I could look like green and be a sister. My ancestors, we have ancestors who eat glass. I have ancestors who will take this glass and who would eat it. So what race is that? Global Pan-Africanism, since you know, since your people created racism and you want to defend it, so what race would you call my ancestor who eats glass? What race would you call my ancestor who vomit blood and don't die? Those are the gods who are my ancestors. So what race are they? So if it's about racism, what race would you call them? Answer that. Funny man. I'm just kidding when I say that, but answer that though. Since it's about race for you, since the African Americans have created all their institutions to support the institution of racism. So when everything you do revolves around racism, you're supporting it. Whether you negate it or affirm it, you're still giving it attention. Whether you like it or hate it, it still gets your energy. If I come out here and I say, I hate you, and I come out here and I say, I love you, it's the same energy it requires to say, I hate you, that it requires to say, I love you. Kingwa said, no, it's just a genetically inclined human specimen. That's why it's the bloodline. It's not the race. You're not focusing on the real factor for measuring a human. The real factor for measuring a human is the bloodline, not the race. Facts, Kingwa says. Not the race you lost in the race factor. Did you create racism? I have ancestors who live in so many different dimensions of the universe. So what race would you call them? There is a dimension called Minokan, I think, because I'm not really verbose in the technical language of my ancestors' life, but I'm knowledgeable in the actualities of what it is, what that dimension looks like. So a lot of my ancestors, they live in Minokan. Where is that dimension? What race lives there? What about the ancestor who's a snake? What is he? He's a human, but he manifests in snake form behaviors too. He's not even, is he a human? Because you don't really have answers for those things. So if the African American people had grown up with the wisdom of their ancestors, with the original wisdom of the people of the world, then they would understand there's no such thing as race. Even if you were able to judge a race, but you could not keep the lineage for 200 centuries and still be able to say what race is. So race is a factor that cannot measure. It cannot stand the logic of time. It cannot measure up to time. So if it cannot measure up to time, it's not logical. It has to withstand the test of time to be considered logical. And logic is not what I say. Logic is what Mother Nature says it is. Thank you, 110 people, for watching. Thank you, the people on YouTube, for watching and participating. Thank you. This is really tragedy versus comedy. At the end of the day, it boils down to that. Tragedy versus comedy. Because the same thing that will make you laugh will make you cry, honey. So the question was, did African Americans invent racism? And by the way, what I have on my head right now is not a number one yaki. That's not what that is. It's not 100% natural from Brazil either. This is expensive. The most expensive hair in the world. I just had to stop and brag for a minute and show the people what I'm wearing on my head tonight. Because a lot of people, especially the black male, they will spend an entire life and they will die and they will never know what this hair looks like. So tonight, since I'm broadcasting, I'm happy to share what this type of hair looks like. Because a lot of people don't know. All they see from the women in their lives is what the Asians sell them. They don't know what this quality shit looks like. They don't know. You got to show them. They don't know what this looks like. So people, this is what the most expensive hair in the universe looks like. That hair can cure you. And when they steal black folks, they take that hair and they put it under wherever they need because they need to get rid of their own cancers. This is what the most beautiful hair in the world looks like. I'm sharing with you. Well, I'm taking a pause as well because I'm going to be broadcasting for a while tonight. But when you really look at life, a lot of men, a lot of women will spend their lives and they will never know what this hair looks like or what this hair feels like. I'm more than happy to show you. This is what the most expensive hair in the world looks like. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? I can feel it. I can feel it. Because a lot of you thought pot bitches, you thought you can come to me with your Depo Povera bodies, body by Depo. That's what the stamp on you says. It says body by Depo, hair by the Asians, and you think you can fuck with me. And you think you can fuck with my logic or the logic of my people, but that's not how it's done. Hey, Day! Day! Can you please bring the charger for me? Can you please bring the charger for me? For the iPad. I'm about to lose power if I don't put, and I'm going to be here for a while, so I got to charge this as I'm speaking. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Thank you, my dear. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. A lot of men, they go through their whole lives, a lot of women, and they never know. But you see, and those people, those are the same people who say, I believe in quality. I believe in quality. I believe in having the best things. I believe in the finest things in life. That's what these people say. They are bold. I believe in the finest things in life. That's what they say when they're lying. I believe in the finest things. Oh, I lost this other broadcast. I believe in the finest things. That's what they'll say. And they're liars. They don't mean it. If you believe in the finest things in life, you would wear the most expensive hair in the world. Hey, if you really did, that's how it would be for you. Depo-Provera bodied. King Ross said Depo-Provera stamps. Body by Depo. That's what a lot of you wear. Body by Depo. Hair by Asians. Hair by the Indians. And you know what the weird thing is? All of these people are on Facebook. All of these people are. And I remember this video came out where this video was showing how these Asians, how they take the hair from sacrifice. And they take the hair from sacrifice and they sell it, they resell it to the people. Does anybody else remember seeing that? Seeing that that it was like a documentary. Does anybody else remember seeing it? Where they were talking about these Asians, these Indians, I mean, these people in India. And these people in India, they were, I want to make sure this is plugged in. They were, excuse me, please. They were using the hair that they were sacrificing, because what does it mean to sacrifice the hair? So these people would be sick, because these are people who are into witchcraft. They are into voodoo. They are into magic as well, because voodoo is the original way of life for the original people of the world. So if you had ancestors who had any type of common sense, your ancestors would show you the original people way of life, which is voodoo. They would show you something about it. King Ra said, can I ask a question, Lahini? Yes, King Ra, you can ask a question. I'm listening. I'm trying to see if this is charging. I'm listening, King Ra. I'm reading. I want to make sure this is charging before I keep moving on. So that's why I'm doing the move around, because I want to make sure this is charging. Excuse me, please. Thank you for the people who are still watching. I want to make sure this is charging. How do I do that? I need to see the icon. Yeah, it's charging. It's charging. It's charging. I just wanted to make sure it was charging. All right. Now I have to go back to our screen. Okay. Okay, guys. I have to also clean the camera. So my hand is a little sweaty. Sorry about all of that moving around. Damn. I'm messing up. Oh, there it is. Orientation is locked, rotate device back. That's what it's saying to me. So how do I unlock the rotation? Let me go and see how I do that. I used to be able to know how to do that. Oh man, I don't have time to think about something like that right now. I'm not even, should I even bother with that? With this orientation issue? King Ra says, do you think the Haitian people would have defeated the American enslavers in this North American region? I don't know. I don't know, honey. I don't know if they would have defeated them. I don't know. I don't know. This is what I do know. I do know that a lot of the Haitian people, the Haitian people were the people of Hispaniola. It was the whole Hispaniola. So meaning the American ancestors and the African ancestors. The Haitian people are not just one people. The Haitian nation is a mixture of different nations. So when you speak about the Haitian people, you're speaking about different nations because it's a mixture of that. So a lot of the Haitian people, they made the choice to die. Like when you hear the Haitian national anthem, the leaders are saying, "Die, death is beautiful." They're telling the people to die rather than to submit to slavery. So that was the rhetoric of those ancestors. Do you understand what I'm saying to answer your question? So for some ancestors who was saying, "We rather die," so I don't know what they would do in North America. They would all have to die. Do you understand? So if they wasn't going to defeat these North American slave terrorists, they would have to die because that was the message for those Haitians at that moment, was to die rather than to stay in slavery. Do you understand how I'm answering your question with the truth of what actually happened and what the message was at the moment? The message at the moment was to die rather than to live in slavery. So I don't know what they would have done, but I do know what the message was at the moment. The Haitians were telling all other Haitians, "We'd rather die than submit to this." And all other Haitians was following those leaders. Mourir, death is beautiful. Mourir, that's how, and they put it in the Haitian national anthem. We die rather than do this. We'll die. Because in the spirit world, those Haitian ancestors, they understood that that death, because these Haitian ancestors, by the way, they were not like the Haitians right now. These Haitian ancestors, they were more like in the, God damn, this thing is not saying straight. Excuse me. They were more like elevated spiritually. So they knew that when they die, they knew that when they die, they would inherit, they would transform spiritually. Because like if you read the Haitian stories or the Haitian history and the geography of the people, a lot of times you will see that, like this guy, Macandal, they cut his arm and they tied it up. They cut his arm. He was with one arm because they didn't want him to fight. With one arm, they cut his arm. He still was fighting. His name was Macandal. And there were many people who suffered a lot of atrocities. But to give you an example of this one guy, and then when he kept fighting, they burnt him. They tied him at the stake to burn him. And guess what happened? He turned into a bird and flew away. So the ancestors also had magic with them. It's not like they were doing what they're doing, just simple. It wasn't a simple life. Like in the Haitian culture, the word that we use is simple. Those people were not sip. They had magic. They had a lot of magic. That's how come they were able to do everything they did. They had a lot of magic with them. So they were not like us, weak like us, and subject to temptations like us and subject to greed like us. They were not those type of characters. Their morals were way different than our morals. Their conscience were way different than our conscience. You know, so they knew where they were coming from. They knew that it wasn't fair for them to live under slavery. So the motto was die. So I don't know what the North Americans would have done with all of us dead. Would that be a victory? I don't know, because we would all be dead. We would rather die than do that. That's what the motto was. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? I think the 120 people who are watching, I think the 837 love I got, I think the 5 diamonds I got, and the 15 stars. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. And somebody started following me. I invite others to follow me. I invite you to subscribe. I invite you to share. Share this with your wife. Share this with your mistress. Share this with your sisters. Share this with your brothers. I know a couple of you got 2 girlfriends. Share this with your girlfriends. And I know a couple of you got 2 boyfriends. Share this with your boyfriends. Share this with your peoples, man. This is what we are witnessing today when Trump says Haiti is a shithole and the whole entire Haitian community goes berserk. The whole entire Haitian community start reacting. I didn't know they would do it that way. I didn't think the Haitian community would blatantly in the eyes of the public, lose its logic. Ugh, shame. What a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame because everybody is turning around expecting the Haitians to start acting out and acting crazy and irrational and be mad and want to go and start marching. I'm telling all Haitian mothers not to do that, just like I've been telling the African Americans. So the question that the young man asked me, okay, is if I think we need to defeat racism or we can defeat racism, why must you be the one to defeat racism? If I have a child, I give birth to that child, then it is my job to raise that child, to rear that child, to nurture that child, and raise the child. If I didn't have anything to do with the child, I don't know the child, and plus the child is ill-mannered, why would I participate in the raising of it? Why would I nurture it? Why would I give it air? That doesn't make any sense at all. And that's what's happening in the African American community. You have a bunch of people who are fighting racism. What do you know about it? When was it born? Who are its mothers and fathers? You? So the mother of racism are the European nigger, and the father of racism is the African American? Is that what racism is? Something you and the European nigger gave birth to? Did you and the European nigger have a baby and call it racism? Because in that case, that's why African Americans are so interested in racism, because they had something to do with giving birth to it. But we Haitians, we didn't. So why should we participate in it? Suppose you go somewhere and somebody says, you black bitch. Suppose you go into some white nigga store and the white nigga say, you black bitch. But suppose you never went in that store. So what are you doing in that store? So the problem is not with the white nigga who says, you black bitch. The problem is with you who went to the store. You who went to the store is the problem. What were you doing in the store? Why would you go to the store when you know somebody's calling you a black bitch in the store? Why didn't you protect your spirit? Why would you go put yourself in a place where you're going to be called names and you're going to go there expecting things to go right? The place that you went to, does it belong to you? Does it belong to you? The place that you went to doesn't belong to you. I know people are expecting me to react and be mad. So that's why I'm broadcasting tonight, because I want to talk about Trump. When Trump says, hey, it is a shithole, is it true these African countries are shitholes? Is it true? King Ross says, so we are at war and the enemy is occupying Haiti. Yeah, they're occupying the territory. Yeah. If I had a bunch of idiots who invited me to go to a war, would I accept the invitation to go to war? I don't have any weapons. I don't have anything. All I have are a bunch of males who are calling themselves queens. Will they fight? Can they fight? You go into war. Do you have people to fight? Because me, I'm not going to be able to handle that fight. That's not a fight I can do. I'm not equipped for that. So I'm not equipped. Are you equipped? I'm not. I don't even want things like that to happen. I don't even want to think about things like that happening. But as altruistic as I may be, the possibility of it happening exists. It exists. So what will we do? Will we let it happen? Or will we just not participate? My coffee is done. I have to get more coffee. You have to breathe what into existence, King War? What are you talking about? What do you have to breathe into existence? What is it you're talking about? What is that? Please let me know. Thank you for watching. I have 910 love, 11 love. Thank you. 911 hearts. 911, wow. 911 hearts. 911 hearts. Thank you. We have to achieve victory by what? I don't really like using words like victory, wars, and I mean, I use them, but I don't like using them. I'm not saying that I don't use them. I don't use them. I just don't like using them. especially when I'm doing broadcasts like that, because when you use those words, it triggers people to give you negative attention. It triggers people to think that you're speaking negatively, because everybody wants to label a black woman angry. People all just want to walk around and say, you angry black woman. The minute you speak, people say, you angry. And that's why I'm happy about these live broadcasts. Gotta get some water. That's why I'm happy about the live broadcast, because in the live broadcast, people can actually see my face and they can see that I'm not an angry person. But when you're on Facebook and people can see your face, they use that platform to label black women angry because people can see your face. The person who's reading your comment, he's interpreting the comment based on his own emotions of you. So when that person calls you angry and you have 10 people like him who say, yes, you angry black bitch, your reputation is ruined. Your reputation is ruined because you have all these niggas assembled in ignorance to call you angry. The people who call black women angry are other black women who have been trained by these institutions to take down black womanhood. So when I'm speaking, I don't like using words like wars. I don't like using words like victory. What is a freaking victory? Because someone had to die. And if people die, that's somebody who lost their lives. How victorious is it for them? So if you're talking about victory for me, it's probably just peace. That's what victory is. Peace. Peace of mind. Having a full belly. What does the human being do? The human being likes to eat, sleep, sex. Do it again. Rewind. Eat, sleep, sex. Rewind. Rewind, selector. Thank you for the people who are watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to give me hearts. Today, I made it a decision to stay up. Like I said, I'm not used to staying up. So if you can please share with me some energy so I can stay up, because I made the decision and I have to get up and get some more coffee because I ran out of coffee and now I'm just drinking water and that's going to make me want to go pee and I would have to get up and I don't want that. King Ra says, I feel you. We're going to make it though, and that's a promise. Well, King Ra, thank you for supporting me on this journey. I like to have a man with me on journeys. So I'm glad you're going to truck the journey with me. And that's how it should be. If a woman like me is taking a journey, there should be at least one man to say, I got you. Because that's the quality of woman I am. And there is always at least one man to say, I got you. Sometimes there are more. That's who I am. That's who I be. So let me see what's going on this platform. Okay, guys. Today, I'm speaking to the Haitians about the comment that Donald Trump made saying Haiti's a shithole. Is Haiti really a shithole or not? Are these African countries shitholes or not? Because a lot of times when you go to these African countries, all you see is quatchakor babies, big ass belly, and you can see the rib cages through the fucking belly. Ashy, dusty with red hair from the sun, honey. Hungry little motherfuckers. So, for those hungry children, are those countries shithole? That's what it is if you're living in a country and the agriculture of that country cannot even feed you. It's a shithole. If you're living in a situation where you don't even have sanitary conditions, it's a shithole. So, is Trump's statement 100% true? No. It's not 100% true. No. So I'm going to teach with you now. I'm going to learn with you and I'm going to share with you how do you use the laws of logic in your own life to measure your actions. So the number one thing we're going to look at right now is the statement. Haiti is a shithole. Let's say the statement is a number called 7.78. 7.78, if I'm going to round 7.78 to the nearest power, is going to be 8. If I'm going to round 7.18 to the nearest power, it's going to be 7. So Haiti is a shithole because the numbers of shitholes for the people, not because the landmark of the country or the scenery of the country is not beautiful. It's gorgeous. I enjoy it. But because the conditions of life for the majority of the people is a shithole, you can round it to the nearest power and say, yes, he's right. My ancestors would laugh. My ancestors would unite. We would fix the shitholes, and then we would ban Trump from ever coming in there, or anybody from his blood lineage from ever coming in and stepping foot in there. Thank you for the 1,000 hearts. Thank you. Do you understand how logic works? Thank you for the people who are watching. 131. Do you understand how logic works? Because that's how logic works. You cannot get mad because this man says Haiti's a shithole. Is it true or not? That's what you have to compute. Because let me tell you, in the Haitian language of the original people of the world, yes, you can ask somebody to think about it, but most often we ask people to calculate it. We don't ask people to think about it. We say calculate it because you have to put the math to it. You have to calculate it. It doesn't just require you to think about it. You understand? It's not just about thinking about it. You have to calculate it. You have to put the math. You have to compute the elements and see if they add up. So even the language of our ancestors who are the original people, their language is different than our language now. And so because I can still benefit from their language and share with you is a blessing for both of us. Because one of the words you can say now is calculated instead of saying think about it. Instead of saying think about it, because a lot of people cannot think about it. But so if you cannot think about it, can you calculate it? Can you, okay, so he say he love you. If a man say he love you, let's calculate it. If a man say he love you, but then he slaps you and take out your tooth, he slap a tooth out your mouth. So he say he love you, that's one, plus the action where he slapped the tooth out your mouth. So love, we're going to have to see love. What is the action of love? Is love the action of slapping the tooth out your mouth? No. So that action is not an action of love. So if you say love you and the action is not an action of love, it cannot equals two. You cannot say that this man love you because his action does not add to the calculation of love. Both have to work together. The action has to measure the word. So 1 and 1 in this case cannot equal 2. There is no love. If a man say he loves you and his action matched, so 1 plus 1 equals 2 in that case. You can have that logic. You can accept that, okay, he loves me because his actions speak love. That's what it means to calculate something. That's the logic of the Mother Earth. If you say anything else about the Haitian people, if anything, we have the logic of the original people of the world. We have the logic of Mother Earth. If you want to say that the Haitian people believe in voodoo or that the Haitian people practice voodoo and that's why you don't like the Haitian people, if you want to say that, then I can tell you that the voodoo that the Haitian people have is God who gave it to us. It's Mother Nature who hands it to us. It's a privilege for Mother Nature to have mercy on you and to hand you the grace of Mother Nature, that you utilize the forces of Mother Nature. The forces of voodoo don't belong to the Haitian people. The forces of voodoo belong to Mother Nature. The forces of voodoo, do you believe that the forces of voodoo belong to the Haitian people? So then why is Haiti so fucked up right now? Because Mother Nature has not accorded the Haitian people the privilege because the Haitian people have abandoned the voodoo. You see how funny this is? So when Trump says Haiti's a shithole, Haiti's a shithole, is he right, is he wrong? Whether he's wrong or right, the Haitian people should be uniting right now. Whether he's wrong or right, the African-American people should be learning from the Haitian people's experience to say, hey, this is what we went through as African-Americans. This is the formula that is being applied on us as we are African-American people. We are always under distraction. We are always under shock and awe. The African American people, they are always under shock and awe. Somebody's always shocking the community, either by killing young kids or by spreading diseases or spreading some. It's always shock and awe for the African American community. And for the Haitian community, it's the same. The Haitian community, though, was under a bigger weapon, which was hunger. Hunger is a weapon of mass destruction. So when you are under hunger, because hunger makes you lose your ability to think. When you are hungry, you cannot think straight. That's what most people say, I'm hungry, I can't think straight. Isn't that what we all say when we're slightly hungry? Imagine if you were hungry for days and weeks and months and years and centuries. So how straight would you think? How straight would you think if you had hunger applied on you as a weapon of mass destruction? How straight would you think? How straight? Because when we go hungry for like an hour or two, we're like, oh, damn, I'm hungry. I can't think straight. That's one of the first things we say when we're hungry. I can't think straight. So imagine the Haitian people under hunger, and then the African American people under shock and awe, because they got to keep shocking these African American people. Shock and awe. Oh, what a life we are living under. My eyes are open. A lot of times when my eyes are open, they look like they're closed, but they're not closed. I promise you they are. That's how my eyes are. Like, I have to be at a certain angle for you to see. Like, this angle is always, for the other platform, it looks closed, but it's open. And when I turn, you can tell it's open because the nucleus of it, you can see it. But when I turn this way, it looks, a lot of times it looks shut from the wings of it. But that's how my eyes are. Let's take a moment of silence for the idiots. Let's take a moment of silence for the bumbo-clot tot pot. Let's take a moment of silence for the traitors, because their reign is ending. It's coming to an end. What they do, they will no longer be able to do it. Tig Evans says, LOL, my family eyes are like that. Yeah, that's in the eyes. I have some Asiatic blacks in my blood. My grandmother on my father's side, she was very black, strong woman. Nice physique. And her eyes, her features, all Asiatic black. Very powerful woman. So that's how it manifests on me, her bloodline. And then the rest of my body, you can see my American ancestors. Because my American ancestors, they had little pouch bellies and little ass. And you can see that in the rest of my body. I'm like a perfect mix of those two people. Because you can still see their stamps on me. And it's really funny because a lot of times when I'm walking down the streets, I live in an area where we have a lot of people from all different parts of the world. Atlanta has one of the biggest airports in the world. Atlanta has one of the largest seaports in the world. So Atlanta is a global community. People come and go. This is one of the biggest markets in the world, not just the USA. So there was a time where I was where I was around a lot of West Africans, and there was not one day that would go by and the West Africans, they'd be like, I know you from somewhere, and they would be so convinced they know me. But these West Africans, they don't understand that I'm their ancestor. That's why they know me so well. They can still tell my face in the 21st century because I was their ruler. That's my bloodline. I was their queenship. That's how come they can recognize me. They were my servants. It's not it's not a nice thing to say, the truth. What? So when Donald Trump says Haiti's a shithole, if it bears some truth, should I get mad or should I just acknowledge that and unite with my people and fix my country? So just because I say that too, it's just a fact of what it is, what it was. Can I hide it? Because even in the 21st century, these people are still hunting me and saluting me. They run after me in the streets, in passing. And I have to tell them, no, shut up. We're not related, dude. I'm your predecessor. Is that what the English say? predecessor. So tonight I'm in these YouTube streets, and I'm also live on another platform, because what I want to do is I want to let the public, those of us who go to social media, I want to let you know that there is a Haitian who is not getting pissed and who is not reacting like the cinema wants her to react. I'm not going to get emotional and give you my energy when I need it to work in my own country. My country needs work. Haiti needs work. So Haitians have to understand the USA is not your territory. Even though you have inheritance in the West, the USA is not your territory. So you have to go back to your territory and fix the shitholes in it. Luckily for you, you don't have a lot of shitholes, and it's not the entire country, so that's a luck for you, but you should not drop the ball. You should not drop the ball and live in the delusion that everything is fine.
My charger is gonna break like that.
It's not gonna break because it's not on the floor. You see, it's not leaning on the floor. It's the bottom of it is not leaning on anything solid. That's why I have it on air, and I have this thing holding the. I have this holding that up, because it's not against it. It's not. No, it's not.
Oh, can I use it?
But this is no. I'm down to 0%. Does your sister's iPhone charger work with yours?
She's using it.
So tell her to share it. We have a shortage of one charger. This iPad doesn't have a charger. These children, when you use their things, they get like, they get really, do your kids do that? Like when you use their stuff, they act really uppity? Do your children do that? You can share with me. I'm sharing with you. Jeebus, you notorious. Please, you know that I'm live and you come in to disrupt me for a charger. So if you need the charger, you're going to have to go without it because I'm live. So what is it? You want to interrupt me and give you the charger because you need it right now? You're going to have to go without it until I'm done. That's the logical thing. And next time I'll know better than to use your charger. I'll have my own. But right now, you're going to have to go without it. These pickaninnies. Let's take a moment of silence for the idiots because they govern the world. Hopefully in our silence, they would cease to have so much power. Hopefully in our silence, we can find a path to logic because it's we the people who need logic. The leaders, they have logic for their own profit. They want to lead you. Do you African Americans remember when we had a Million Men March? Do you African Americans remember the Million Men March? That's the formula that they're giving to the Haitian people right now. Because with the Million Men March, the African American leaders brought the African American people to the elite so the African American people can be counted. That's what the Million Men March was about. The Million Men March, the Million March was about the African American leaders uniting the African American people and bringing them in a location where the elites can count them down. And all the leaders who participated, they were all rewarded. They were all given awards. They were all rewarded and awarded. They were rewarded and they were awarded. If you don't agree with me, tell me why. Don't just say you don't. Nobody has said it. I'm just asking. Nobody has said that they don't agree with me. But I'm just asking if anybody don't agree with me, please tell me why. Because when I say something, it must be tested. Because I'm speaking logic. So the logic has to be tested. When you finish a mathematical problem, you got to verify your answer. That's logic. You cannot just take the answer you found and say it's true. That's a lazy mental. In essence, I'm doing for you the job your parents should have done for you. How do you use logic? How do you compute? Comment faire calculer? Calculer. Calculate the logic. Calculate your thoughts. Calculate your actions. To calculate, you have to enumerate. Enumerate means you have to list the different things that you're dealing with. I have 1,200 love. 1,200 love. Ah, that's a lot of love. I feel warm. Thank you, because this is my first time broadcasting on that other platform, and I'm really loving the platform and the people who watch because they give me a lot of love. 1,200 love is not a little bit, that's a lot. That's a lot. And I got some diamonds, some stars. Okay. Invite your wife, invite your girlfriend, invite your wives, invite your girlfriends, whatever you believe in. Invite your parents, invite your young adults, invite them to listen to my broadcast. Because in my broadcast, I'm speaking some facts, I'm speaking some logic. Because people are expecting all Haitians to participate in that Trump cinema and be mad. I'm going to participate, but I'm going to show you what my ancestors would think if they were you. If you were living your life under the guidance, under the tutelage of my ancestors, right now you would not be mad. There would be no reason for you to get mad. I wonder if there's a way to take a break. I want to take a break. Broadcasting live is not easy. I can see that. I can see it's not easy. But I have to do it, y'all. I have to stay on these YouTube streets. I have to stay on these streets because if somebody is looking for the Haitian voice, you got to know that's where I'm at. I'm the Haitian voice. And nobody else speaking that logic, and no other leaders. Some of the Haitian people are speaking the logic I'm speaking, and that's why I speak, so they can know they're not alone. Some African Americans are speaking the logic I'm speaking. That's why I speak, so they can know they're not alone, because the idiots are more numerous. They'll make you think you're wrong and they're right. So you have to hear somebody like me so you can have courage and strength to hold on. Hold on. Hold on there. Hold on. What was that? What was that I just did? What was that gesture? What was that all about? I'm happy we are getting to know each other. Well, I'm getting to know how much love you can give me, because no one is really speaking aside from King Rod, Tig Evans, and where's my other friend? Okay, Global African Tribalism for Self-Government. Johnny Tene. Thank you for logging into my broadcast. Thank you for choosing my broadcast. Thank you for sharing my broadcast. Thank you for being here. I'm the Haitian voice. I'm speaking to represent the Haitian people today because I don't want the world to think that the Haitian people can be like puppets and Donald Trump can pull our strings and all Donald Trump got to say is, Haiti's a shithole, and all the Haitian people would go crazy. I don't want people to think that's what the Haitian people are about. That's why I'm doing this job, because that's the job of my ancestors, and I stand proudly to do it for them. And because I represent my ancestors, I'll always have a place in their heart, and I'll always have their blessings and their protections. I'm not standing alone. I'm standing with logic. I'm not alone. I'm standing with the people who love me, and I love them back. But I got to be here. I got to be here to make a difference. I got to be here to let you know that 99% of these things are 99% true. Heat's #1 fan says, what percentage of blame do you give the U.S. for the situation in Haiti right now? Heat's #1 fan, if I allowed myself to fall into the blame game, then I would be the same people. This is a theater. We all play our parts. We already know that. So Why wouldn't the United States have the blame? Why wouldn't Haitians have blames? We all have blames. It's a lot of blame to throw around, child. This is very serious. It's a lot of blame to throw around. Should we spend time doing it? No, we have things to do. We have shitholes to clean. After that, maybe, but after that, you won't even think about it because you will be doing much better because you will have cleaned your shitholes. There are a lot of blames to go around. Should we sling them? Should we get the slingshot? I used to play with slingshots when I was little too. I used to play with slingshots. I used to play with a lot of what the boys played with. And this is just to show you about culture. Like in my culture, we have a lot of tomboys, but they don't turn out. When I say this, this is not like 100% total truth, but because right now in the 21st century, my culture changed. But when I was growing up, we had a lot of tomboys, and they did not come out lesbians. They all found the right men who could handle that energy. Because it's not a lot of men who can handle a woman athlete. Imagine, it's not a lot of men. So if you're a woman athlete, you're a tomboy, you got to find the right man to handle that energy. And a lot of the men who are like more like quiet, sophisticated, soft, they would find the right woman to handle that energy. So they wouldn't turn out gay either. It's very different how the cultures manifest the same things differently. Isn't it? Isn't it, guys? It's very funny how we do it. Thank you all for watching. I think I'm going to take a break. I don't know if I can keep going nonstop. Because I got to get some coffee. I ran out of coffee. I don't know if I can keep going nonstop and don't take a break, and I'll have... I should have had some music to keep with you, to keep us with some music. I should have had some music. I'm going to share a little bit of sound with you. Hitman Fan say, I say this because Trump wants to reduce Haitian immigration, but how can a country who is one of the ones responsible for Haiti's situation going to now say Haitians aren't welcome? The immigration is the distraction, my friend. And that's why I'm speaking out for the Haitians. That's why I'm the Haitian voice. Because when they bring up issues of immigrations like that, it's not based on reality. It's for distraction. Because the reality is that he's the immigrant. You see what I mean? Do you know what my ancestors say? My ancestors say, "C'est diable k'ap di men démon." It is the devil that is pointing the finger at the demon. So when people are going away from what we all know is true, if we all know is true, Hitman's fan say, isn't it hypocrisy? Of course it's hypocrisy. That's why you shouldn't pay attention to it. And that's the wisdom my ancestors have that you and the African Americans and the Haitians right now, they don't got it. But my ancestors have that wisdom. Well, when a nigga like Trump says something like that, you don't pay attention to it. That's the magic of my ancestors. We know how to give life to some things and how to take it away from others. But because the Haitian people lost the logic of our ancestors, they're paying attention to it. Yes, because it is hypocrisy. So if it's hypocrisy, you know it's hypocrisy. I know it's hypocrisy. Why pay attention to it? Why go into debate because of it? Something we already know. You see the difference in the logic? If this was our ancestors, they would not even respond. They would laugh and we would go fix our shitholes and then ban him from coming. Very different, right? Very different. Very different. Very different logic, very different ways of dealing with things. You know, those are the ways of our ancestors. Our ancestors always had logic, always had logic, always had logic. And they always utilized it. If you don't have logic, you don't have, it's like you don't have a GPS. It's like going somewhere and you don't even know where you're going. And you don't have logic, so you don't have GPS to go where you're going. How will you get there if not by fluke or magic? How will you get there? If you don't get there by fluke and you don't get there by magic, how will you get there? Because logic is a tool. Tig Evans says Trump wants American culture and armies and business to immigrate into other African countries, though. Yes, he does. But the people who focus on that, they're worse, sir. Can he do it? Most likely not even he can even do it. Most likely he can't even do what he says he wants to do. But when you give it energy, then he's able to do it because you gave it your energy. You will never met a black like me. Listen to my rhymes, I will hit your core. Let Kanye West disrobe you. I'm here to clothe you. Get your mind right, be bold, be all of you. Blow them kisses like Serena. This is my plate. This is mine, this is mine. Don't take the shirt he's offering. Test the power of my melanin. Feel the bitter wrath of my testaments. Feel the glow of my sunrise in my bloodline manifesting. Fulfilling. We ain't going nowhere. We here in Congo Square. We heading out there, Norlands, beware. If you meet a liar, tell him a bigger lie. If you meet a naked man, don't take the shirt he's offering. When I got home to New Orleans, all hell broke loose on Congo Square. The truth that you withheld from me is coming out finally. Coming out finally. I came from New York, traveled to LA. When I got home to New Orleans, all hell broke loose on Congo Square. I guess that was to wake me up. That's why I put the song on, to wake me up, to give me more energy so I can do what I intend to do. And what I intend to do is basically spend a little time speaking to the African American communities, speaking to the Haitian communities, to let you know, listen, what's happening right now is witchcraft. If it was happening 2,000 years ago, we would call it witchcraft. It's witchcraft. It's somebody who wants to transform reality, who wants to transform the lens, who wants to make you see something and tell you it's happening one way when it's not. If you can trick people into believing one thing when it's not, it's magic, it's witchcraft. It's not voodoo. Voodoo don't do that. Voodoo is not religion. Voodoo is a way of life. But there's magic, there's witchcraft, there's all type of dimensions. So these people, they are satanic, demonic. They're using witchcraft to captivate the people's energy, to do their own bidding. And they want for the people's reaction. Without the people's reactions, they are nothing. Without the people's reactions, they are nothing. They are nothing without the people's reaction. So what should they do? How should this happen? Haiti is a shithole, okay? Is it true? Is it half true? Is it 75% true? How true is it? Is Haiti a shithole? Is Haiti a shithole? Are these African continent, are these countries on the African continent shitholes? When you speak to the youth of these countries are living under hunger, lack of information, lack of development. They don't have jobs, most of them. The majority of these youths, they don't have jobs. But the majority of these youths, they had an education to where their parents had to sacrifice to pay school fees to give them an education. So imagine that you have a child in one of these countries and you spend all that time to give your child an education. Because what it is to pay those school fees, it takes a lot of sacrifice for a lot of these women or single mothers. For a lot of these women, they just, like I said, they're single mothers. So they have to work super hard to send their children to school. But when their children get out of school, they don't find any jobs. So the same thing that's happening to the African American community is happening all around the world. You see? Before gentrification, Harlem was a shithole. Tig Evans says sad they would probably build up the churches there first. Sorry, guys. I'm getting comfortable. I hate bars. I hate them. Titty cuffs. That's what I call bars. Like, I don't know. For me, when I have that bar, just the pressure on my breasts feel like they just want to get out. Like right here, I feel the pressure. My breasts just want to get out. So when I wear a bra, a lot of times you'll see me do this. That's because I'm like just helping the circulation under my arms, because a lot of times these bras, my God. And when I do that, I feel such relief. Women, you should always release the pressure on their arms. A lot of women get breast cancer because they don't. So here's something I just shared with you that's worth $1 million. Show me some love. If you're a man, share it with the women in your life. A lot of times you have to release the pressure under your arms so you don't get breast cancer. A lot of women who get breast cancer is a blood that clots and that creates pressure, that creates something that pops, that turns into an open wound, and then it nurtures. It doesn't get enough oxygen to heal. It turns into cancer. Oh my God, I'm going too far. Okay, let me stop. Okay, let me not touch anymore. Okay. Let me get back to this broadcast. I've been funneling too much of me, man. That was too much. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's why I don't like this live thing. Oh God. That's why I don't like the live. Because I ended up being myself too much. That's funny. Oh, that was too far. I went too far. I took it way too far, but I'm still suffering from the pressure of this bra, so I'm gonna pop it. I'm gonna pop the bra off. Okay. Oh, now I feel good. Oh, those TD cuffs. I hate them. I don't like bras. I don't like them. If I'm not, like, if I wasn't gonna do a live, there is no way this thing would find my breast. No way. I hate them. And the bra that I'm wearing is not even an underwire bra, because I don't even wear. The only times I wear underwire bras is if I'm wearing a gown that asks for it and has to have it. Because they choke me even more. They choke my chest. I call them titty cuffs. They imprison the breast. They imprison the titties. They cuff them. And that's how a lot of times women get breast cancer, because your titties are under imprisonment. Your titties are under cuff. So how can they breathe? They're going to get sick by these bras. A lot of times, I experience it, which is why I don't wear bras a lot anymore. Sometimes you wear the bra and you feel your breast bulging. By the time you get home, if you out doing things and running errands, by the time you get home, your breasts are like this, bulging. And then it's like the blood just went right up into the breast. It says, oh my God, that's so dangerous, because if that blood doesn't find the circulation, and imagine that blood has to find circulation into all, and that's where all the lymph nodes are. Yeah, and all the lymph nodes all here. If I'm lying, tell me, because y'all know everything. All of them, all here. So circulation under there is a requirement. You got to make sure that's circulating. If that sucker is not circulating, you're going under. You're like a machine that has, what's the problem that machine has? It's like a car. Whatever that thing is in the car, like if it's not working, it's going to shut the whole engine, and the whole entire engine will bust. Is it a carburetor? I don't know a lot about cars, but I know one of them is like that. Like if that thing is clogged and it's not flowing, the entire engine would bust, and that's what happens when women get breast cancer. So if this information was useful to you, of course, show me some love, because I'm bringing useful information. I'm bringing logic to you. I'm the Haitian voice. So I'm going to be broadcasting a lot on this platform because there's more to me than just that. I'm an artist. I have a voice. I write books. But when I take to speak to the people, it's because my participation is needed. Because right now, you could be all over social media watching Haitians who are just pissed and mad, and people expect me to be pissed and mad just like the other Haitians because that's what the leadership is doing. The African American leadership is the same as the Haitian leadership, is the same as the leadership of those shithole countries in Africa. It's the same leadership with greedy leaders. Those leaders are not working for us. That's why they keep getting awards. Our communities keep getting worse, and they get more awards because that's their jobs to keep our communities getting worse. They service the elite when they do that. So our communities keep getting worse, and they keep getting bigger awards. Does that make sense to you? If it makes sense to you, please tell me. The fact that our communities keep getting worser, and these leaders, they keep getting bigger awards. Does that make sense to you? Does it? Please be real about it. Do it. Do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. I'm going to take a pause, y'all. I'm going to take a pause in about 4 or 5 minutes. This is not easy for me, but it's what I got to do to represent my ancestors and their way of life, to stand up for them in this moment where the logic of the original people of the world is under attack. The people who act the most foolish, they want everybody to act just like them. The people who commit the most distractions, they want everybody else to act just like them. But if we are all causing distractions, if we are all acting foolish, then where is the logic of the universe? Where is the logic of Mother Nature? If we are all doing the wrong thing, where is the logic? So I'm going to take a break. I'm asking all of you who are watching to come back in like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, come back, because I'm going to come back live. Of course I'm going to come back. Right now I'm going to replenish. Take like a 3-minute nap. I miss my sleep. I like my sleep. That's how I travel far. So that's why I sleep so early, because I got a lot of roads to travel when I go to sleep. Do you guys understand? When I go to sleep, I go to so many places. Let me tell you something about myself. If I don't eat before I go to sleep, I get so skinny. Because I travel so much. When I wake up, there was nothing in my belly. And when I wake up, I have to eat immediately again. Because the food I ate before I went to sleep is gone. Because I was all traveling all over these places, flying up and down. Zipping here, zap there. So if I spend like 2 weeks and I don't eat before I go to sleep, I'll be that skinny. My weight drops so fast. I'm the kind of person who eat about 8 meals a day. I eat like 3 big meals and then about 4 or 5 little meals on the side, because if I'm doing what I'm doing and I don't eat, I feel fire. In my culture, we say fire when you don't feel connected to the earth. You are fire. So please come back. Please come back in 15 minutes. I'm going to eat so I don't lose any weight, because I always want to maintain my weight, because my culture doesn't believe in skinny people. So a lot of times, even though I'm not skinny, my American friends, they will say, "Oh my God, you look so great. You're so skinny, sexy." And the people in my country be like, "Oh my God, this woman's sick. Why she's so little? Why she's so skinny?" So it's like a cultural view. It's 2 different lenses. You know what I mean? 2 different lenses. So I like to maintain my weight. I like to keep eating and to keep doing it, because if I don't, I'm out. Even before I go to sleep. So right now, if it was a regular time, I would have eaten my meal. I would have been in my travels in my sleep, enjoying myself, traveling the different crevices of the universe. No passport needed. Just access. Just the bloodline. That's the stamp. That's the stamp of approval. I thank you gracefully. Please come back in 15 minutes. I'm going to take a break. I thank you for participating. I thank you for watching. I thank you for sharing. I thank you for all of that. I thank you for agreeing that I have the most expensive hair in the world. I thank you for agreeing about that. I know you agree. I have the most expensive hair in the world. You agree. Yes, I do. The Chinese can give you that, honey. The most expensive hair in the world is mine, mine, mine. Mine, mine, mine. It's mine, mine, mine. That's the musical. Mine, mine, mine. Gracefully bow out. Thank you, all of the 175 people who watched. I want to thank all the 1,500 people who gave me hearts. I want to thank the 5 people who gave me diamonds, the 15 people who gave me stars. I want to thank all of you. I don't know how to shout out the people who give me stars and love. Like if I could see all the people who are giving me love at the time they give me the love, I would say thank you. So I'm going to learn to see if that is possible to do. Ciao. Ciao, Bella. Ciao, Bella. Ciao, Bella. Goodbye. Goodbye.